Hello, and welcome to Let's Ride with Stonewolf. You have joined me in Scotland on the east side of the NC500. We're just passing Tain right now. And it's wet, as you can see. I'm gonna give you a wipe, but we're falling behind this truck, so we're just like riding through spray. We're in a 50 zone at the moment. We're gonna pass this truck and we'll get out of it. I would say I'm having a lovely day, but of course I am soaking wet and freezing cold, even though it is the height of summer. Scotland. It was sunny yesterday and it's going to be sunny tomorrow. Last episode, I was talking about Tropical Furry Islands, which is an event in Germany at a giant water park where you can stay the night and stuff. Look it up, it's really cool. I'm not going to explain it again. But one of the things about it is, of course, it's in Germany. And that means I'm going to get there. And where exactly it is about 45 minutes south of Berlin. Now, I don't want to fly to Berlin, but it is something of a production to get the train to Berlin. I'm not going to drive. That's not going to happen. I know that route, and it's not really. It's just like it's a get on the autobahn and go type thing, and nah. Why would I do that? Why would I subject myself to that? So I'm going to take the train. I need to book all of the train. But the problem is the train gets very long when you're talking about those distances. Like Berlin is kind of on the outside of taking the train, in my opinion. You're going to leave early and arrive late. High risk of woodland fire. I don't think there's a high risk of woodland fire today. Third exit. Okay. That's a helpful sign. Yeah, Berlin is kind of on the outside of what is doable by train. I'm just gonna do this roundabout here for a second. I'm gonna pay attention. There's a car. It's fine. I should really turn my traction control up. I got my traction control turned down because I was experimenting with having my traction control turned down. But I think this weather warrants having it turned up. I'm going to do that in my next stop. So, yeah, getting there by train is a bit of production. If you want to go to Berlin from Nottingham, which is where I live, you're going to get a train to London and a train from London to the other one, Brussels, and a train from Brussels to probably Cologne, and then from Cologne to Berlin. And Cologne to Berlin is the long one. But you know, you've got a few transfers there. And then you add on to that, like you've got to get from Berlin south to Tropical Islands, you know. The Tropical Islands is a short bus transfer from the station. It's not a station at the place. And so on and so forth. And essentially, oh, my hands are going to get so wet at Brora. Not that they're particularly dry now, but they're gonna get so wet when I'm there. I'm gonna take these gloves off and everything's gonna roll off my sleeves. But yeah, it's quite long. There's a bunch of changes where things can go wrong and you need to allow time and all that stuff. Conveniently, like, German trains are very flexible with, like, if you miss your train you can just get the next one type stuff. That has certainly been handy for me on that route before. But yeah, I was just looking at the timings and like, oh, I'd have to leave very early and I arrived so late. So what I've done is I said, well, you know, I'm going to do a break journey. I'll stop somewhere, probably Cologne, and I'll travel on. And then it was like, oh, if I'm going to stop somewhere, I should stop with friends, which maybe means like traveling out of my way a little bit. And then it was like, I'll find some of my friends and like go talk to them and be like, oh, I'll stay over for a night and blah blah blah. And then I've just not arranged any of that. I'm just totally out of mind. And now, like, it's coming up on 2 months before, and I should really book stuff. And probably what I'm going to end up doing is, in both directions, I will just stay in the Ibis at Cologne Hauptbahnhof, which I've done before, and it's like, it's a nice place to stay, but I mean, you know, it's an Ibis, but like, the location is quite nice. Cologne's a nice city, but I don't know. I would like to see someone along the way. It's just making that arrangement sometimes. You know, I've done that a lot going around Europe, like, hey, you know, can I stay for a day or two type of stuff, just crashing yourself but making the arrangements and then sorting out like the logistics of getting from the train to their house and all this kind of stuff, you know, it can get to be a bit much, especially if you're trying to do it like at this point where you need to actually book railway tickets, and where like if it falls through you're going to need to like get on the hotel pretty quick. So I think what I'm probably going to end up doing is just like booking a hotel. Yeah. But the actual train journey itself is quite nice, you know. From Nottingham down to London, it's like you've got intercity trains. That one is kind of like one of the dodgy routes. You know, it's Britain, there could be strikes. There could be delays, there could be cancellations. Like last time I did a trip over to the Midland, my train out wasn't affected by strikes, it just didn't get out of the depot and was cancelled, and I had to get the next one. Just because, you know, that's what happens in Britain. Other countries can run trains just fine, we can't. You know, then there's Eurostar. Eurostar trains are really nice. Like, they are absolutely a cut above other UK trains. Which isn't to say that they're better than continental trains. Like, they're as nice as continental trains, but they cost as much as like a premium train for the UK, if that makes sense. Like again, that's just the way the UK is. Then, you know, you get to Brussels and you get the ice from Brussels to Cologne. It's usually like an ice 3. It's a very nice train. And then last time I did it, Cologne to Berlin was an ice 1, the original ice. It's really nice inside, you know, just really nice trains, and you don't have to do anything. You just like sit back, relax, read a book. Some people find that like really weird. Like people who are used to driving places are like, oh, but it wouldn't be engaging. I'd get bored. And it's like, yeah, the motorway isn't engaging, you know. And that's how you'd be getting to Berlin. You'd be taking the autobahn. From experience, that is how it works. I've done it 3 times. Twice on motorbikes, 1 petrol, 1 this. And I've done it in a car, and it's just boring. You know, the autobahn is boring. And you might say, well, I won't take the autobahn, but if you don't take the autobahn, you're going to be a long way traveling. You're going to be a long way traveling. Like, even on the autobahn, Nottingham to Berlin, it's kind of 2 days. You know? Even if you have a vehicle where you're going to be like, yeah, I'm going to take full advantage of the autobahn, you're still going to be 2 days. You are still going to be 2 days. We're starting to get some like more interesting roads. Bit of a wiggle. It's quite nice. It breaks up the monotony because a lot of like the east side is, you know, kind of like what we've just been doing. I am deliberately taking these pretty easy because it is wet. Oh no, otters for 1 3/4 miles. Very specific. I know I've not been wiping you guys off, it's just because there's no point. If you are wet, I can wipe you off and you're just gonna get wet again. I give a little bit of wet, there you go. Just in case there's a... just in case there's a drop like right in the middle of the lens. That's always annoying. But yeah, the autobahn is boring. And flying sucks. And I have friends who love flying. They're like, oh, excited, flying. Ooh, it's a... whatever this plane is, it's got features. And you're just like, whatever, man. I have had to show up at the airport 17 hours early for this 9:23 a.m. flight. And even that cost me $50 extra over the 7 a.m. flight. And now I'm gonna sit around trapped in a fucking shopping mall all day long while I wait for the bloody flight. And yet somehow I'm still rushing to get on it. And then I'm jammed in a tight little chair. And I've had to have all of my luggage weighed and measured. And then I have crappy air for however long the flight is. And then I'm at another bloody airport on the other side and I have to wait for my luggage. navigate all these like airport to get to like the outside, and then I figure out how to get from the airport to where I'm going. And none of the airports are anywhere near anything you want to go to, so you have to get a train or a bus anyway. Like for me to get to Berlin, I would probably not be taking my local airport. I'd be getting a train to London anyway, you know. And I could just get the train instead. It is more expensive, which really annoys me. It shouldn't be, but it is. But it's way nicer. And yeah, that's it's just a nicer way to travel. And yeah, I don't know. There is some discussion on whether short-haul air travel is bad. I tend to view it as being pretty bad. Other people are like, well, you know, when you take this and that into account. But I'm just going to go with short-haul air travel is probably bad because all of your heavy polluting is done climbing and descending. And you know, short-haul air travel doesn't have a whole lot of stuff in between that. Long-haul air travel I give a pass to because, like, how else are you going to get there, especially if you're flying transatlantic? But the shorter the haul, the more angry face I make. I hit this bag is that it makes it that hard to put the cruise control on. It means that I generally, instead of like turning the cruise control off by pressing the button, I will generally just like tap the brake instead. Get to the rail line. If this was Ireland, there would not be a rail line up here. No way. Park for the kids. There's nice little stone walls and stuff. It's quite pretty. This style of town does remind me quite a lot of Ireland. Ireland has a bit less like stone facing. Ireland tends to be more like white painted cottage style buildings, kind of like these, that kind of thing. Yeah, it is very reminiscent of home. Be where we stopped before. Oh, it is, yeah. Yeah, I remember this from like my last NC500 trip. We came up here and Tito's sat nav was like, turn left. So Tito turned left and went way up there when it actually meant down there. We went on a big long circuit on like a tiny narrow little single track that eventually brought us out up here. Oh, it is so wet, man. There that it brought us out? Yeah, it was there. I say as I'm wiping my lens, like, wow. There's a little turn off just to the side because under a railway bridge. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, I was talking about aircraft. But yeah, NC500s. So it is normal do the NC500 in 4 or 5 days. I would say 4 is kind of the minimum you want to do. 5 or 6 is probably how much you really want to do, because you want to take it a bit handy. You want to stop because there's a lot of stuff to see. It is, 500 miles is a long route on the roads that are here. Like, it doesn't sound like much, but this is not representative of most of the roads that you're going to be traveling on. In fact, this is kind of the fast part. So yeah, you probably want to do it in like 5, maybe 6 days. Take a week. Getting to Inverness and back, as I have demonstrated, is a whole production in and of itself, and frankly, you probably want to take your time on that too, because there's some beautiful terrain to go through to get here, especially if you go up the Loch Ness way, which is how I'm going to be going back. And yeah, the NC500 is not something you should do as a speed challenge. It's something you should do as a tour, which is why naturally I am doing it in 1 day. But I've done it before properly, so this is my challenge. I'm like, okay, can I do it in a day? Yeah, I reckon I can do it in a day. Can I do it in a day on my electric bike? Yeah, I can. We're putting that to the test. Right now, I have to say, because there's no traffic and a lot of the towns have been bypassed, we've been keeping it consistently like high speed. And I don't know if you guys saw that, but there was a bird that just flew almost right in my face and it diverted at the last second. Yeah, because we've been able to maintain like a consistently high speed. We have gone through quite a bit of battery. I think we're going to get to Brora a little bit lower than we expected, but it's going to be fine. It's not going to be like in a danger zone or anything. I don't know how long Brora is actually. I am getting a little... it's only been an hour and 20, to be honest, but in these conditions that's quite long. Just ticked under 20%. I don't think this is it. Oh, it is? Okay. Nice. This is, in fact, Brora. Wow. Cool. We are well early. So, if you've got anything to say, hit me up with the comments. If you enjoyed this episode, give it a like. Check out some of my other videos. You might enjoy them. And if you do, consider subscribing and, hit the bell. And if you would like to reward me for entertaining you today, you can find links to do so in the description below.